Okay, Mobiliser. This is our second Mobiliser class. We're going to start off very gently. And we're going to start off standing on our feet, and we're going to roll down the spine, and we're going to take our time with this one. So we're looking with this to identify any areas of tightness or tension. And then at the end of the class, we'll do this again and see what improvements we felt over the course of our exercises this evening. So we're going to go from a nice straight position here, standing tall, pulling up from the crown of the head. We're going to take a nice big breath in and really fill the lungs, fill the chest. And as we exhale, we're bringing the chin down onto the chest. And then we're going to keep going from there. So we're rounding the shoulders. And we want to do this really slowly and it's relaxed, we're not pushing. If you feel a particular pull or particular tension at any point, you pause there for a moment and just sit with those sensations. Rounding down. So it's nice and slow. Really taking our time. Finding any points where you've got a lot of tension or tightness or anything that just kind of feels a little bit off. Just pause there for a moment and focus on how it feels. Slowly coming down, and we're doing this in a nice relaxed way. We're not reaching for our toes, we're not stretching or pulling ourselves. Just rounding back, rounding down. Letting the arms hang, we're not actively reaching down. And when you get to a point where it feels like your hamstrings are getting tight, bend the knees ever so slightly. We're going to let the hands come right down to the ground. And we're going to stay there for a couple of moments. And slowly we're going to start coming back up again. So same thing, nice and slow. Really taking our time with it. Again, looking to become aware of the sensations right through the body. Keeping your chin tucked in right to the very end. Slowly coming up. Eventually bringing the hips in underneath the shoulders. As you straighten up, gently lifting the chin off the chest. And standing up nice and straight again. So that should give you a sense of any tightness or any restrictions here through the back of the body. And we're down onto the mat now. I'm going to adjust the camera slightly. It seems to have gotten a little bit pulled out of place there. Yeah, that's more like it. So we're down to our mat and we're going to start out with our hip release. So we're nice and flat on the mat, becoming aware of the breath here, and as we inhale, think of pulling your lower back and your rib cage down into the mat. And now we're going to try and keep that gentle imprint with the lower back, keeping it there, gently pulled down towards the floor. It doesn't have to be pulled down into the floor, gently pull down towards it. It's all about gentle movements here. We're starting out now with our hip release. Right leg coming from this bent position. We're going to relax the thigh, allow the knee to fold outwards to the side. Only go as far as the other leg stays still. If it's wobbling around the place, then it's being called into action as a counterweight. We don't want that. We want it nice and stable. So this right knee, once it gets to the end of the range of motion, you push your heel out away from yourself, so coming straight down along the mat. And then we're exhaling as we slide the heel back up towards your backside. Staying with that right leg, keeping that lower back gently imprinted. Keeping control. This is all about slow and steady control. Turn the leg in then when it's at the end of the range of movement. So we're internally rotating the thigh and drag the heel back in towards the backside. I'm going to do 3 more of these. So we're inhaling as the knee lowers out to the side, and hold as you push the heel away, and exhale as you pull the heel towards your butt. 2 more on this side. Inhale, lowering the knee out to the side. Hold as you push the heel away, and exhale, pulling the heel back in. And here we go, last one. Great stuff. So now we're going on to the other leg, left leg this time. Again, keeping this right leg nice and stable, keep the lower back gently printed down to the floor. Inhale as the knee lowers out to the side, keeping control, should be slow and gentle. Exhale, hold as you push the heel away, then exhale as you pull the heel towards your butt. So again, we've got that gentle imprint, we're lowering the leg as we inhale. Hold as you push the heel away, straight down the mat. Important is going straight down along, so it's tracking down a line from your hip bone. It's not going out to the side or out to the edge of the mat. Inhale, lowering the knee to the side, keeping control. And once more. Inhaling out. Hold as you slide the heel away, and exhale, bringing it back in. Great stuff. Coming up to the shoulders now. I'm going to think of, with the hands directly up over the shoulders, arms are straight. We're going to inhale as we reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling. And exhale as you pull them down into the mat. Inhale, pulling the shoulders away from the back, from the floor, from the mat. And exhale, pulling the shoulders back into the floor. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, pulling back. So as you're doing this, you're creating space between the 2 shoulder blades when you reach upwards on the inhale. Getting a nice stretch in between the 2 shoulder blades, and exhale, pulling them back down. The last time, inhaling upwards. Exhale, pulling back down. And from there you can relax the arms back down to the sides. Staying with the shoulders, this time palms facing down onto the floor. We're going to shrug our shoulders up towards our ears. Inhaling as we shrug the shoulders up. Big deep breath on that inhale, and exhale down. Reaching the fingertips as far towards your feet as you can. And again, we inhale up. Think of trying to touch your ears with your shoulders. And exhale down. Each time, inhaling upwards. And exhaling down. once more. Inhaling up. Again, squeezing the shoulders at the top, and exhale down, actively reaching down towards the feet. Really stretching the shoulders down, getting a stretch on the top of the shoulder, right up into the neck. And relax and release the shoulders. Next, we're coming over onto our side here. We're going to support the head with the hand. Our knees, our body's essentially in our tabletop position, only on its side. So knees are up at a right angle to the hips, shins, knees right angle here. Left hand, I'm reaching straight out in front, and I'm going to inhale and come back on the inhale, and exhale, coming forwards. And I need to adjust my mat here, otherwise I'm going to put my hands through the door. So next one, same thing again, from this nice right angle position, inhale back. And you want to keep the two knees pressed together. Exhale forward. If it feels like that top knee is starting to lift, you're going to lose some of the stretch here. So we want to get a great stretch, really opening up the chest and the front of the shoulders. Exhale forward. And with this one, we're even opening up at the top of the hip as well. Inhaling back. And exhale. Pull that arm forwards again. Now from here, next part is the same. We go straight back on the inhale. But this time on the exhale, we're circling up overhead in an arc. So watching the hand as it arcs up past the head. Inhale back, big breath, good stretch, and exhale as the arm goes overhead. Last time here, inhaling back. And exhale, circling and reaching. And relax that side. Time for the other side. We're going to flick over. Once again, the head supports the hand. We're coming up into our tabletop position here. Knees are stacked one on top of the other. We're starting with the hand in front as we inhale back. Watching the hand, keeping the two knees together. Exhale forwards. And on that exhale, think of pulling with the thumb up the whole way through. Inhaling back. And then we start with the exhale to come forward. Third time, and at the end of the movement, we're going to sit there for 1 or 2 breaths. Feel the stretch. Feel where you've got the most restriction, drawing the air in. And exhale forwards. Great stuff. Coming overhead now for the next 3. So we inhale backwards. And exhale forwards. Again, watching the hand, making that big arc up past the head. Inhaling back. Watching the hand as you come in that big arc. Last time, inhaling back. And relax. Good stuff. We're coming up to our seated position now. We're going to stretch down along the sides a little bit. You can sit legs kind of cross-legged. You can sit with your legs out in front, dead straight if you want, or bent up. It's entirely up to you. Comfort is what we're all about here. I find this one more comfortable and feel like I'm better balanced here. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to take that right arm up and we're going to reach over to the left side. Left hand is going to come around behind us to provide support. So reaching up and across with the right hand. You want to make sure that you're not kind of folding forwards. We're all about staying up tall on this one, or staying straight with the arm. Both of the sit bones anchored down into the mat. You should be feeling the stretch down along here, down along this side. So the hand that's up in the air, that's where we're looking to feel this stretch. And each time on a big inhale, feel more of a stretch there. As you exhale then, feel it release just slightly. Reach a little bit more, actively stretch into it. And exhale and relax that side. Give the shoulders a bit of an old roll. We're going to go for the other side now. So left hand reaching up, right hand coming back behind. Sit bones well anchored, left hand coming across over us. Deep breath in, trying to feel as much of a stretch there as you can. Stretch down along the sides here. Each time. Once you exhale, you stretch a little bit more for the next inhale. And stretching a little bit more. Staying nice and tall, reaching skyward with the hand or with the arm. The hand doesn't have to be fingers to the ceiling, it can be like this, whatever angle works for you. And exhale, and we're going to come back to center. So still sitting up nice and tall, we're going to go for a little bit of rotation this time. So we're going to take both hands, left hand is coming back behind me, my right hand, the heel of my hand here is going to press against the back of the knee. So I'm using this as leverage to help me rotate. Again, I'm nice and tall, I'm up on those sit bones. And I'm working with the breathing, nice big breath in. And exhale. See if we can stretch a little bit more into it, turn a little bit more into it. And exhaling, relaxing. Coming around to the other side. Same thing, right hand coming behind. And I'm trying to stay tall, so I'm not putting the palm of my hand down on the floor. It's just the fingertips, just to give me a little sense of balance and stability and control. Palm or heel of my left hand pressing against the top of my knee. Inhale, big deep breath. Exhale, relax. And again, inhaling. Nice big breath each time on the inhale. I'm going to take one more breath in here. Actively trying to get that fraction more of a twist in, and exhale and relax. And we're going to come onto our back again. We're coming into our hip bridge. So from this flat position, slowly peeling the lower back away from the floor. So unlike the hip bridge that we've done in some of the high intensity classes, this one is done slow and controlled, and it's about curling and tilting the hips first. We're trying to peel the vertebrae away from the floor one at a time. So what we do here is we print the lower back down into the floor. Creates a slight little bit of tension here. It's
gives the hips a little tilt, and then we peel the hips and only the hips, just barely lifting them off the mat. And once you have those clear, you hold there for a moment. And then we come up slightly more. So now we're lifting some of the lumbar vertebrae from the floor. And we hold. And then we lift the next one and hold for a moment. And the next one. So rolling up along the spine, rolling up in sequence. Nice and slow and controlled. So the benefit in this is all about the control as you roll up along. Coming right up, rounding the shoulders, coming up onto the very top of the spine. And to lower around the shoulders. And slowly roll back down. Coming back down in a sequence. Same way as you lifted. So keeping the backside active, keeping the hips active so they're lifted away from the floor. Letting the lumbar spine come down first and then the hips. So that's generally the trickiest part. And once you get that down, you can relax. We're going to go again slightly faster. That was very, very slow, so well done in maintaining that. So we're going to go just a little bit faster this time. It's still slow and controlled though. That's very important. Maybe not as slow. So slowly peeling up vertebra by vertebra. Coming right up onto the shoulders. And at the top then, we round the shoulders, letting the spine in between the shoulder blades come down. So we've got our upper back, now lowering the mid back, coming down to the lumbar vertebra, and eventually the hips and pelvis, right down to the tailbone. And again, printing the lower back into the mat, lifting the hips, just keeping the lumbar spine printed in, and then sequencing up from there. So lifting the lumbar, rolling up, starting to lift the mid back, still rolling up, piece by piece, coming into the upper back, right up to the shoulders, top of the shoulders, and rounding the shoulders now to let that upper back, feel the spine and the upper back rolling down into the floor. And coming down to the mid back, rounding that down, coming down to the lower back, rounding it down with control, and then the hips and tail. One more time, keeping the control as we lift, lifting the hips and rolling up the spine. So as well as being good for the lumbar spine, it's also great for the backside and the core and all those muscles up and down along the spine on either side. All those spinal stabilizers, those postural muscles, and rolling down, and there we go. Great stuff. From there you can bring the knees in towards the chest. Going to give them a little bit of a hug, a little bit of a roll from left to right, just to massage the muscles there along either side of the spine. And now from here, we're coming into our windscreen wipers. So we come to our tabletop position first. We're bringing the arms out to either side. We want to keep both shoulders firmly pressed down into the floor here. Now, I'm going to stretch the right side first, so that means lowering the legs to the left. Keeping the right shoulder pulled down into the floor, lower the legs to the left as far as they'll go comfortably, so long as you can maintain that right shoulder down on the floor. We're going to take a nice big breath there. Feel where the tension is. And exhale, pull the legs back to the center. And this time lowering the legs to the right. Inhaling as you lower, keeping both shoulders down on the floor. Big breath in at the end of your range of movement. And exhale up, back to the center. If you find that's putting you under a lot of pressure, you can bring the toes back to the floor. Still from this bent knee position, you simply reduce the loading, still bending the knees out to either side or twisting so the knees drop to either side. If you're good, if your back is good, if everything is okay, we'll stick with this tabletop position to start. And again, lowering out to the left, inhaling as we go. Going all the way to your end of movement, so long as you can keep that right shoulder on the ground. That is the key ingredient here. So taking a deep breath in, feeling where the tension is there, and exhale and start to pull back to the center. Great stuff. Coming out to the right this time. Inhale as you lower. Again, work with your range of movement, however far you can get while keeping the left shoulder down. Keeping the shoulder down is what it's all about. And big breath in here at this end position and exhale. Pull back to center. We're going to go once more each side. Inhaling, dropping the legs to the left. And big breath in. And exhale. Coming back to center. Inhale as you control that release down, keeping the shoulder down. And exhale. Come back to center. Great stuff. So how are you feeling now? Okay with those? Yeah? Great stuff. So next up, we're coming into our kneeling exercises. So we're going to start out with our kneeling Superman. So on the hands and knees nice and wide apart. So hip width or shoulder width apart, either is good. The wider you are here, the better the balance is going to be generally. So that's a tip for you. And from here, I'm going to take my left leg back. And I'm pushing my heel back so I can get that length in through the back of the thigh. And I'm taking my right hand up. Thumb up towards the ceiling, palm in, reaching with the fingertips, stretching, pushing my heel back. And I come down. Switching sides, inhaling as I lift my right leg and the left arm, going for length, not height, and exhale, release down. Switching sides each time as we inhale up, stretching, trying to create that length through the body, and exhale. Inhale as we lift, stretching, and exhale down. Inhaling up. So pay attention to what your foot is doing on that leg that you have lifted. You want it to be pointing straight down to the floor, rather than out to the side or out to the corner. I'm going to do this once more to each side as we lift and inhale
Again, making sure that toe is pointing down, it's not turned out to the side. And the last one. Stretching, creating as much length as you can. And down. Great stuff. So, next up, we're into our cat and cow, staying on all fours. Cat and cow, cat and camel, same thing. So we're going to start off in our neutral position here, nice, flat, straight, neutral spine. And from here, we're going to tuck our chin into the chest, pushing your back up towards the ceiling, tucking your tailbone in underneath. And we take a big breath in here. And then we exhale as we move, pushing the tailbone back, lifting the head, letting the back sink down. So I've got this arch here created in the back. And from here, we're looking forwards, big breath in, and exhale as we move. Bring the chin into the chest, tucking the tailbone under, pushing the back up towards the ceiling, and inhale. Exhale as we move. Again, inhaling here at the end. And exhale as we move. Really filling the lungs with air and then move. We're going to go once more each direction. Taking a big breath in. Exhaling as we move. There we go. So the back should be nicely mobilized and loosened. I'm going to give the wrists a little bit of a rotation here, just to get them loosened up as well. They take a lot of pressure there when you're on the hands and knees through your cat and camel. So rotating both ways, just to get those nicely loosened up. And we can interlock the fingers and just wave them up and down. Just loosening up gently, not trying to force them at all. Keeping it nice and relaxed. So we're not putting ourselves under pressure. Shoulders should be nice and relaxed at this stage as well. Okay, give the wrists a bit of a shake. We're coming into our cobra and child's pose. We're nearly done. So we're going to come right down onto our stomachs, hands a bit lower down your sides than the shoulders, so not directly under the shoulders here, but a little bit lower down. For our cobra, we want to make sure that we're peeling away from the mat. So we start by taking our breath in, and then we tighten up the core, press the stomach gently down into the floor, and we start to exhale, lifting the shoulders away, then adding in the arms. And make sure you don't have your shoulders like earrings. You're actively pushing the hands down into the floor, actively pushing the hips down into the floor, looking up towards the ceiling, keeping the shoulders well away from the ears. Deep breath in here into the bottom of the stomach. And exhale, push your hips back towards your feet and come back. So we're sitting, or almost sitting on our heels. Nice deep breath in here. And we're going to exhale and come forward. Coming all the way through, back to the floor. And again, taking our big breath in at the end position here.
And exhale, lift chin and chest and shoulders away from the floor, pushing the hands down in, pushing the hips down towards the floor, looking up at the ceiling, shoulders away from the ears. Big deep breath into the stomach, below the belt. So it feels uncomfortably tight in the lower stomach before you exhale and push back to child's pose. You can keep the arms outstretched here for the moment. We're going to take 2 big deep breaths in and out here. Third breath now. And we exhale as we roll the body forwards, coming back down to the mat. Big breath in. Exhale as you push the floor away, pushing the hips down towards the hands, down towards the floor. Chin up, mouth closed, looking forward and up. Big deep breath into the bottom of the stomach. Exhale back. Coming back, sitting on the heels. Just 1 breath in here. And we exhale forward, keeping the back pushed up towards the ceiling and then rounding down as we come down to the mat. Big breath in here and exhale, lift. Deep breath into the stomach. Exhale, push back. And 1 breath. And exhale, flowing through. Keep the chin tucked into the chest till the end. Looking forwards, big breath in. Exhale, lift. And inhale into the bottom of the stomach. Keeping the hips low as you push back, arched in the back. Coming back, sit on the heels. 2 breaths in and out. If you get a cramp in the foot, just bend the foot, take the toes in, move it whatever way you need to stave off the cramp. We're almost done. Exhale through, coming back to our cobra last time. Inhale, stomach pressed into the floor, and exhale as we lift. Looking up to the ceiling, hips pushed down, shoulders pushed down away from the ears, mouth closed, big deep breath in. And exhale, push back. Coming right back to child's pose. You can bring the hands onto the feet, let the head rest on the floor if that's comfortable for you. We're going to take 2 or 3 nice deep relaxed breaths in here. Okay, and we're slowly coming up. We're coming back up to our feet. And we're going to do that gentle check like we did right at the very start of the class. So as a quick reminder, we're going to slowly and gently round down. Starting from our tall position, really pulled up tall by the hair on the crown of the head. Big deep breath in. And exhale slowly down, bring the chin down onto the chest. And following through, rounding the shoulders, rounding down. Again, noticing anywhere that you have tightness or tension, or just anywhere that something feels off. Slowly and gently letting gravity do all the work. Coming down bit by bit. Arms are hanging. Rounding down. Not actively reaching for the feet or anything like that, just letting gravity do the work. You can bend the knees slightly. Try and let the hands rest on the floor. You don't have to press your palms flat on the ground, just relax the arms once the hands are touching the floor anyway, that's fine. Whatever is comfortable. And we're going to take one big deep breath in here. And slowly we're coming up. Keeping the chin on the chest to the very end. Slowly coming up. Again, just being present for whatever sensations are in the body, in the back, in the shoulders, the neck. And eventually settling, hips in underneath the shoulders, chin comes up, and we're nice and tall. Great stuff. Give the shoulders a little bit of a shake. Turning the head to the left, still nice and tall. Big deep breath in. And exhale, come back to center. And now to the right. Great stuff. Well done. Hopefully you found that quite relaxing, as well as loosening up a little bit. Rome wasn't built in a day, so it will take a few repetitions of these exercises, a few sessions, before you start to feel the benefit. The joy of this is this video will be going up online, should be available within 24 hours. So you'll be able to go through this again over the weekend and come back into the session next week. Just that little bit more chilled out and mobile, and have some of those aches and pains eased. Well done. See you soon. And that's just me stopping the